Hey, welcome to this week's episode of 5 Sets with Dave. Coach, why don't you first start off and recap this past week? Two sweeps, one over Maryland and one over Northwestern, and great hitting matches, both of them.
It was just really nice to get back on the right track. We had lost 4 out of 5. 3 of those losses coming to teams, so I think in the top 10 RPI, really good teams. And then one where I just felt like we let those losses mount up on us and lost a little bit of confidence and lost an additional one. But to come back home was great medicine for us, I thought, and to play Maryland on Wednesday and get off to a great start and really take care of them in pretty routine fashion. And then to have a good Northwestern team that we had to fight for our lives to beat earlier in the season and really dismantled them, as you pointed out, with a really, really good offensive show. I thought it all started with really good serving. John Shondell does a terrific job with our servers, and we really have spent more time serving in practice this year than any time I can remember. And we really have an idea and a plan and a purpose of what we're doing with the serve. So I thought that really paid big dividends against a good Northwestern team, and then to hit over 500 in 2 sets to close the door on the Wildcats was really good, because we're fighting for our collective lives right now to get into this NCAA tournament, which is a little odd because we're 21-7 with 4 matches to play, and we've got some really good wins on our docket, but yet we're fighting for our life. Despite what we've done in the NCAA tournament in the past at Purdue, you got to play this RPI game, and we haven't done as good a job with that this year as we have in the past.
Right. It's a mystery that everybody's trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Speaking of the offensive game against Northwestern, Faye hit 643, and I think a lot of us want to know what she ate that day. Every time she got the ball, she was putting it down on the ground and she was ready for the next
Probably
point.
Cajun, be my guess. But Faye was a catalyst, no doubt about it, and is a catalyst on our team. Even when she's not on the floor, whether it's in practice or off the floor, one of the finest natural leaders and hardest workers that I've ever had the privilege to coach. And so it's always nice when a player like that goes out and has a big-time match. And I think she had 7 kills in her first 8 swings against Northwestern, and that set the tone for the entire match. And as somebody was telling me yesterday, and I didn't see the expression on her face, I guess, as much as some of the players and coaches did, but she was all business, and she was not going to get beat by Northwestern at home again. So I certainly appreciate the effort that she put in on that particular night, and for everything that she's doing for our program.
Her face, every time after she got the kill, I just looked at her and I was like, oh, she's ready to go. But looking ahead, welcome Rutgers to Beelan Court for the first time on Wednesday, and then at Minnesota on Saturday. And it's also the last home game on Wednesday and senior night. Just talk a little bit about these 2 matchups coming up.
Well, Rutgers is a team that is yet to win in the Big Ten Conference, and I don't think that's a big shocker. They came in a little bit undermanned or underwomaned, I guess you would have to say, in our league, but have played people really tough. I think their coaching staff and their team has done a really good job of fighting this battle of the first year in the Big Ten for a team that really wasn't equipped to begin with. And they played us pretty tough out there early in the Big Ten season. So I expect them to play us tough here again. But to me, the big part of that night on Wednesday is that we have 2 players that have just given their heart and soul and all their physicality to our program. And Kiki and Val have been very, very special players in our program. Both are 4-year starters. Both have contributed to unprecedented success that we've had here at Purdue during their time, and just terrific people. They really have been a big part of the face, I think, of Purdue athletics here over the last couple of years. So it'll be a tough night, I think, to see them play their final match on Beelan Court. But I would certainly hope that our Purdue faithful recognize the importance of being there on that night to show their support and their respect. And I think that the actual ceremony this year will be at the end of the match, where in the past we've done it at the beginning of the match, but somehow there's a little bit of a conflict early on because there's a basketball game that's here as well, and so we want to make sure all the fans can get out and show their appreciation for Val and Kiki at the end of that match with Rutgers on Wednesday.
For sure. I know a lot of people are definitely going to miss seeing them play on the
Including
court.
me.
Yep,
Yeah.
including you. Speaking of them, what's your greatest memory of them? It can be on the court or off the court, or probably a really tough question, but
Well, you know, so much of it goes back to when you first get to meet those players, and I know with Kiki that she was not a very physical player, and she had come in like in her sophomore year for a visit, and we had really convinced her that we thought she could be a great player for Purdue in the Big Ten. And I remember the family saying, well, we're going to go home and pray about it, and you know, we'll see what the Lord has to say and what direction to go. And very quickly they called back and said that they wanted to be Boilermakers, and I did a lot of praying as well, you know, to make sure that happened. But that was great with Kiki. But Kiki's just a kind of a soft-spoken gal, but very funny, and has been a phenomenal leader and again, representative of Purdue her whole time that she's been here. And you know, she stepped into a starting spot right away because we had an injury to Anna Boom Boom Drury, and so Kiki had to start. And the very first tournament of the year, she's the most valuable player of the tournament as a freshman, so that was good. And with Val, you know, Val's just Val, and I think the best part to me of what I've watched with Val over the course of time is the evolution of just a young woman. And you know, she came in, and like a lot of players that go to the Big Ten, everything has been pretty easy for them, and they know that they're good, and they expect things to happen. And you know, I think that she found out it wasn't that easy, and she's just developed in every aspect as a person and as an athlete and a student athlete and as a leader, to where now, you know, I wouldn't want to go into a match without her running the show. And you know, she's a tough customer, and she tells it like it is. But you know, she's learned along the way, you know, what it takes to be successful in volleyball and at Purdue and in life. And so, you know, we're going to miss both of those. But the example that they have set for others to follow, you know, will be here for a long time.
if you could describe them in one word, what would it be? Committed to our program, and that's what I say. You know, that they're not perfect, and we've never had a player that was, but they certainly have displayed a commitment to Purdue volleyball that has allowed us to, I think, persevere through a very, very tough league and to have really, really great success while they've been here. Well, Coach, thank you for being here today. I think that was 5 sets, five quick sets.
I'm glad. Those were some tough questions. I appreciate you being here, and we'll look forward to doing it again next week.
Yeah, make sure everybody comes out Wednesday night as Purdue takes on Rutgers at 7 p.m. for the seniors' last game in Holloway Gymnasium.